Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and yes, we have made it. After tonight, the Patriots will have wrapped preseason. They will have decided upon who is going to make the 53-man roster, and we will just be about a week and a half away from the NFL season officially kicking off. Some updates on a very familiar Patriot, a new defensive coordinator, and some big question marks heading into tonight's game. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, and let us know what do you think about the Patriots and their decisions for the 53-man roster. Who has the most to prove tonight? Who can step up? And who's potentially on their way out? Also, make sure you give us that like and go back and check out all of our episodes after this one so you know exactly what's going on with your New England Patriots. We start with Rob Gronkowski, a all-time favorite, and if we're talking about anyone else that's getting a statue next to Brady, his name's probably got to be up there as well. Well, Gronk, as he was unveiling a new plate, a ground give back, was asked about, the Patriots and said point blank that, yeah, guess what? I'm going to re-sign with the New England Patriots. Unfortunately, it will be just for one day, as it will be a retirement ceremony for Rob Gronkowski. He is officially done with the NFL. There always was that lingering question of could he, would he? I think he actually could. I think the answer is would he? No, I think he's too tied to Tom Brady at this point, and wouldn't be looking to catch passes from anybody else. But good to hear from Gronk that he will one day sign that one day deal with the New England Patriots. Said he would make a day, make a weekend out of it, whatever the team wanted, to do his official retirement ceremony. So don't be surprised if that does happen this year, this off season, or sooner rather than later, as Gronk is ready. And I think the Patriots have figured out, whether it's with Tom Brady's huge celebration of his retirement, the induction, and now his statue unveiling as well, would be just another great affair to see, and honoring the legacy of potentially the greatest tight end in NFL history. Also, looking over at the Patriots and the current roster, and something that we haven't gotten into as much, as we really wanted to see what was going on with the situation with the Pats defense coordinator and Terrell Williams coming over for the Tennessee Titans, and his relationship with Mike Vrabel is back after his health scare, and good for him to see him back at training camp and opening it up with the media and seeing his return. I think you could see visibly that he has actually lost quite a bit of weight, which is probably going to help him for the long haul of the season. Obviously, he had missed time during the spring in OTAs. It was only doing video conference calls at that time as well. He did not shed any light on or reveal his medical reason for missing time, but saying that at this point it was no longer an issue and nothing to worry about. He also did suffer through an unrelated, I should say, but heat-related incident, saying that he was dehydrated at that time, where he may have collapsed or fallen down during practice, was treated and brought back to the locker room. But asked about the season, Terrell Williams was quoted as saying, "I'm ready to go. That's why I'm here. Camp's doing good. I feel great. The guy's practicing hard, so it's been a good camp so far." He also added that it's been great to be back, with training camp. It's football, and it's normal to me. I'm happy to be back, happy to be around these players, and happy to be here in New England. For his pedigree and what hopefully he can do for this defense, you should be extremely happy that he is here, as the Patriots and Mike Vrabel want to transform this defense a little bit, become more of an attacking unit. So expect to see a lot of blitzes, a lot of guys like Milton Williams, new faces, Harold Landry, Clavon Chasen, getting after the quarterback, letting Robert Spillane do what he can in the middle and fly around. Same for those safeties like Jabril Peppers and Jalen Hawkins. But really giving dynamic looks and not knowing where a lot of that pressure can come from. So good to see Terrell Williams back. It will be interesting to see when the gloves come off in the regular season, because preseason you really kind of keep your cards close to the vest a little bit and not really give up what you're going to be interested in doing. But good to see that the Patriots are relatively healthy both on the field for their players and now their coaches as well. Looking into tonight's game, there are a few roster questions that still remain. And a big one, obviously, is the Patriots know, and from what Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson said yesterday, and go back and check out yesterday's episodes for exactly what was going on, but saying that they're excited about the depth of their running back room and having a rotation or a split backfield, as they call it. And we know that there will be three with Travion Henderson added into that mix, but it's fair to ask what could the excuse me, fourth running back position look like. And that's even if the Patriots do that. I think in this day and age, it's rare not to have a fourth running back. And they could actually decide that Jack Westover is that spot as the fullback, and he is more of that fullback tight end hybrid. So if the Patriots seem to have a spot open and want to prioritize a running back there, who would be that back? And I think the answer at this moment in time would be Jermichael Hasty, who re-signed, is familiar with the program, and has played fairly well. But is there someone outside of that, if it's not the fullback in Westover or the familiar face? You know, there are free agents currently still out there, other familiar names such as Dante Foreman or even Jamal Williams. Those are guys who are a little longer in the tooth. But it could be interesting to see, if, other teams move on when they make their roster cut downs. Are there people that you could be interested? Maybe even Kansas City's Carson Steele, who was, a darling through the fantasy circles, preseason circles, and everything else for the Chiefs. But as they recreate their running back room, does a player like that fall out of favor, but potentially someone that the Patriots could be very much interested in? So I would say keep eyes on Michael Hasty and the rest of the backfield this evening to see if anyone can stand out and potentially grab that spot. And if not, do not be surprised if the Patriots are able to pick somebody else up from their roster cutdowns as they continue to build out a very important position behind and next to Drake May. And finally, we look at the Patriots and the trades that they could make. It is no secret that both Kyle Duggar and Anthony Jennings are very much available. It will be interesting again tonight if they do play. They've played extensively into the fourth quarter, especially in the second game. Don't be surprised tonight if they play a little bit less, as at this point you would want them to stay healthy and be ready for a trade. You saw the same thing with Brian Robinson and the Commanders and several other players now trying to keep their availability, even for the opportunity to pick up a seventh round or sixth round pick. It's nothing to scoff at, and things that can really open up some dynamic ability to move up and down drafts, as well as finding some diamonds in the rough as well. I think for a lot of NFL teams right now, they're starting to realize that wide receiver depth through injuries or what have you becomes a serious issue. And on Wednesday, we saw several players that were traded, like Sky Moore and DeValvele, Kendrick Bourne and Jalen Polk, and even Javon Baker could be guys that other teams are interested in and could make a play for. So don't be surprised if one, two, or all three are on the move. I think one, two, or all three of those wide receivers are at least headed to the IR, practice squad, or cut. And if the Patriots and Elliott Wolf can find a deal that's worthwhile and adding some potential draft capital to the mix, and for the same way it goes for Kyle Duggar, being able to do the same thing, but likely having to pick up portions of his contract, as the Patriots, the way things have shaken out, likely will be moving on from him. But if you can pick up the draft asset, you'd be willing to pay for some of that contract, as you'd be paying for it anyways if you did decide to cut the player. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Excited for this evening to see the final Patriots preseason game against the hated New York Giants, and always a good rivalry game when those two teams take the field. But all eyes out on the final roster projections. And be sure to stick with us for Pat's latest, as we'll have the breakdown for everything for that game and our roster projections coming up before the 90-man cut down to just 53. So a lot of players on the way out, but we'll have it all for you here on Pat's latest and everything that's going on with your New England Patriots. So make sure you go down, subscribe for that channel, get in the comments and let us know who you think's making this roster and who could be that surprise addition. Make sure you give us that like and go back and check out all of our old episodes, and we'll continue to have it all for you right here. Fight on, Foxborough.